morning, everybody. This is Johnny S with another R6 vlog. Very tired today. Again, another one of these days. Possibly the weather. Hey, nice helmet. Not sure what it is. Possibly the weather. Possibly just, you know, whatever. I also woke up today with a bleeding ear. I don't know why. Like a little scratch in my ear. The goddamn ears bleed a lot. Anyway, my pillow is all fucked up. I thought, like, what the fuck? I go to bed and I wake up bleeding. Somebody's been hurting me. My wife, possibly. What the fuck? She can't hurt me during the day, so she beats me up during the night. Lol. That guy almost took that guy out. So we started strong with the morons on the road. So, little introduction. My name is John, 44 years old, family man, with a YouTube channel. We are situated in Greece, Athens, Greece. I grew up a big portion of my life in Australia, hence why I'm speaking in English, hence why I have an accent. And the content that I am doing on YouTube is about bikes, games, and all types of topics. We're running late a little bit today, so this is our daily routine as we drive to work. We're on top of an R6, Yamaha R6 2006 model. Today's topic of discussion, I wanted to just talk a little bit about the bike sport news. I used to be a huge fan of MotoGP. I really loved MotoGP. I used to be able to follow MotoGP. Usually when I follow a sport, I follow the sport itself and not so much the riders. And that's also something, you know, that sometimes it used to be very evident to me, even in with other people, that they used to fanaticize around specific team or a specific player, rider, whatever you want to call them, depending on the sport. I never really had that. So even back then, when I was more hardcore following MotoGP, let's say, I did not have, like, I didn't remember many drivers, riders, their names and everything. I remembered a few, obviously Valentino Rossi, a couple of the people that he had battles with, since, you know, Valentino Rossi is one of the is one of the most famous riders. You know, whenever he battled it out with somebody, that's how a name, you know, became famous to me. So similar to that, you know, I don't follow. Like, if you ask me about statistics, you ask me about, you know, who's this guy's name, who's that guy's name, I don't remember. You know what I mean? I don't spend my time, you know, on that, let's say. And I thought to do a video about it, since this weekend was the World Superbike, the World Superbike Championship. They had one of the one of the races this past weekend. Usually on the bike sports scene they organize races during the weekend time. That's why sometimes you might also hear them refer to it as the race weekend. MotoGP, I think it's race number 5. And I think it's similar for the World Superbike. And like I said, because I don't follow this statistics and you know, don't take my word for 100%. So this is just going to be a general discussion, general update for somebody that does, no one has no idea. Yeah, just start. Good morning. Welcome to the idiots. Anyway, so both from time to time I do follow MotoGP and SBK, which means the Superbike class, World Superbike. The proper name for it is WSBK, which stands for World Superbike. A scooter, you're sitting in the middle. We're running a little bit late today, that's why you might see me rush or try to go a little bit faster. It's not that I go crazy, but it seems as if any one of these days where I try to actually go more of you know, I need to get to my job type of a pace, you know, all type of fucking fuckwits become evident on the road, or makes it literally impossible for you to go to work. They're gonna hit. Oh dear God. It seems as if those days where I'm a little bit in a rush, that's when most of this shit happens. Possibly because I'm going a little bit at a faster pace, I get to go through more traffic, meaning that I get to see more idiots, if you want to think about it that way. It could be the reason. There's a taxi driver that actually let me pass. Fucking, that's 1 in a million. Got no doubt that day. Go to church. Light up a candle. Fucking. So yeah, as I mentioned, I'm a little bit tired. I'm also a little bit in a rush, so you might hear me pause a lot. Nah, there's a guy here that he felt something. He felt it. Perhaps that, you know, you're not alone on the road. Don't understand most of the drivers. They're on another fucking world, a different dimension of stupidity. So yeah, like I said, not 100%. So those are the two super sports, you know. There are more. You know, there's many more bike sport, let's say, classes and categories. There's MTX, there's cross bikes, there's dirt bikes, there's all type of sports for bikes, let's say. And there's many different categories. The main two categories that I'm mentioning is MotoGP and the super sport bikes. But I have other subcategories. Even for the super sport, for example, if you want to talk about that, there are let's say, you know, 300 500cc class, 600cc class, and the big ones, the little bikes. So the 1000cc class. Usually when you hear people talk about these sports, they mention the big classes only, but there's little ones as well, you know what I mean? And some people follow the little ones. I, to tell you the truth, never followed the little classes, let's say, besides the World Super Sport 600 class, because I have a 600cc. I was always curious to see, you know, what's happening, what type of companies, what type of manufacturers are winning these. You know, just to keep my eye out. That's how I know that the R6 you know, is one of the best competition bikes on the World Super Sport 600cc class. So, and to be more precise, if you're going to search for it, the 600 class, it's called WSSP, meaning World Super Sport. Now don't ask me why they name it like that. Whereas the 1000 liter bikes, it's called WorldSBK. Both of them, one is like Super Sport, one is Super Bike, whatever. And the MotoGP also has the smaller categories as well. They've got the 250cc, I think. They've got like another mid one, 500cc something. And you know, the biggest difference between the two is that the MotoGP bikes is they are custom-made bikes, which are designed to go fast around the track. They'll have different type of technologies and stuff. Whereas the Super Sport class, the SBK and the SSP, they actually utilize bikes which are on the road, like my R6, and they buff them up in order for you to race them. So, in general, one of the things that I've noticed lately is Ducati has been improving a lot, and that's very, very good for Ducati. So hats off to Ducati, both in the Superbike and both in MotoGP. They have improved a lot. Ducati was having a lot of issues back when Rossi was there. The chassis, the design, they had the power, but they didn't have the balance, they didn't have the technology to be as competitive as some of the other companies. This is not the case now. You see that Ducati is actually coming first on both sports. So this weekend that passed, we had the Super Sport, the SBK race. It was in the Czech Republic, so Czech round 4, I think, or round 5. And you know, like I said, I don't have much time to follow it, but I thought this weekend, because I was a little bit more relaxed, I'm going to tune in, watch the race. The race begins, and one of the people that I've mentioned previously, which I really like, is Alvaro Bautista. And on the second turn, Alvaro Bautista gets swiped from another rider, and I thought to myself, oh fuck, for the love of God. Alvaro Bautista was 2022-2023 champion on the SBK, so he's a very competitive guy. He's old, he must be something like 41 now. So he's an old guy. I don't know for how long he is going to be able to do this, but he's very good, very interesting guy that I like to follow. Another guy famous on the Super Sport is Toprak. I cannot pronounce his surname. He's Turkish origin. Alvaro Bautista is Spanish, and he's the guy that came first yesterday also. So he's the there's some friends, love them. So he's you know, one of my other favorite guys. There's not much to talk about, you know. Alvaro, just to mention a couple of things about Alvaro Bautista, because that's the guy that I'm following, you know, so I don't remember, like I said, many things, names and everything. I've been watching his 2024 you know, road in SBK, and he's doing good. He's always on the podium. If you had a look at the previous races, I think there's 5 races that they had so far. He's becoming second, third. So he's always on the podium, but has not tasted victory. I think since Toprak, you know, has gone to BMW, he's very competitive. Toprak used to be on Yamaha. Now he's going to BMW. And that's about it about the news. It's really awesome. I will advise everybody to get to it. And another hilarious thing to mention, on MotoGP I follow Marquez. I really like the guy, you know, he's good, he's a young kid. And the interesting thing is that Marquez, again he's on Ducati. That's what I'm saying, Ducati is, you know, he's racing with his brother on the same team, his younger brother. So the champion is Marc Marquez and his brother is Alex Marquez, and they are both on the Ducati team. They are both teammates, and they're both racing, and they're both coming really good, you know what I mean? So sometimes I watch the MotoGP just to see what's happening between those two guys, you know what I mean? And there has been times where they have become very competitive with each other. It's like, hey, he's my brother, but I gotta pass him. So that's a hilarious thing, you know what I mean, that I do try to follow. Yeah, that's pretty much about it, you know what I mean? It was a little bit disappointing this racing weekend, because, you know, I tried to follow, like I said, about Batista, but, you know. Anyway, I thank you very much, and I'll bid you goodbye, guys. Bye bye.